Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.
Happy last week of school! I'm so excited to see you here. Thank you for coming and joining me in our PBS classroom. I'm Mrs. Hammock, and I'm super excited to be here with you to help you practice and learn all the skills that you need to be an excellent reader and writer for your whole long life. That's a big deal. I'm proud of you. All right, we are learning this week the last sound spelling card. Isn't that amazing? I can't believe we've gone through all of them, but we have. And so that is super exciting. Before we get started with our learning today, though, I want to remind you that if you do not have one of our fun activity books and you would like to have one so you have it with you for the summer break, I want you to write to us here at the station, and you can send me a letter or an email and make sure that your address is on there, and we'll be sure to get one in the mail to you, okay? I think you're gonna like this for summer. I know that I am. I have to try to figure out which one I'm gonna take home with me. So I hope that you will get one too, okay? Plus, I wanna hear from you. Tell me what you're gonna be doing. Tell me which books you're gonna read over our summer break. Remember what I told you yesterday? If you just read 6 books this whole summer, you will not lose any of the learning that you've done this whole year. Can you believe that? Just 6 books. That's amazing. We want to keep your brain growing and getting strong all summer long, so read a good book every day, okay? Great. I know I can count on you. Yes, that's right. You know it. We're going to train our ears for sound. Good job. All right, today we're playing the blending game. That's where I give you some sounds. You put them together and tell me what my word is. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. P, air. P, air. Pear. Good job. How about this one? Ch, air. Chair. Good job. How many sounds did you hear in that? Ch, air. Right, just 2. All right, how about this one? Sk, air. Sk, air. Sk, air. Scare. Great job. Wow, your ears are amazing. Did you hear the air sound that we practiced yesterday that we're learning? That's what we're doing this week. All this week, we're practicing that air sound and all the ways that you can spell that sound in words, okay? Let's get to our fluency so that we can practice reading some of those words with the air sound. All right, so for our fluency today, we're gonna look at the 3-letter blends that we did last week together so that you can just kind of refresh and remind yourself. You ready? All right. SHR says shr. Do you remember that? THR says thr. Good. Say them with me. SPR says spr, spr, like in spring. How about this one? SPL says spl, spl, like splash. How about this one? SCR says scr, scr, like in scream. How about this one? SQU says squa, squa, as in squash. And STR says str, like in street. Good job. Great practicing. All right, let's take a look at our chair sound spelling card. Here's our chair. Do you hear it at the end? Chair, air. Did you hear it? All right, let's say the letters that make the spelling pattern and then the sound. That's how we kind of start to train our brain to, when we recognize those patterns or chunks of words, then we know what sound to make. So let's do it together. A-I-R says air. A-R-E says air. E-A-R says air. And E-R-E says air. Good job. All right, today I have a word for you that we're going to practice reading together, and then we're going to change it a little bit and see what we can read and what we notice. Are you ready? Here we go. Air. Fair. Good. Fair. Have you been to the fair before? I love when the fair is here. I love fair food. It's so delicious. All right, let's change fair into pair. Like I'm wearing a pair of socks. All right, here we go. We just changed the beginning sound, and look at that. Now we have a whole new word. Pair. Pair. This pair is when there's two of something. What if we change it to the fruit that's a pear? What do you think we do there? This says pear. Does that mean it's the same? Nope, 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 nope. Watch what happens. P. Air. Look at that. When we're talking about the fruit, we need to use the E-A-R spelling pattern. So this is pear, which means two. This is pear, which is the fruit. Do you hear how they're the same? Listen again. Pear, pear. Wow, they're exactly the same. Those are called homophones. When I think about a homophone, I want you to think about a phone, right? Like what do? You hold it up to your ear so you can hear the person on the other end. And that is what you need to know, is that they sound with your ears, they sound the same. But with your eyes, you can see that they look different and they mean two different things. If I said I ate a pear and I wrote this pear, well, somebody might ask me, a pair of what? Because this means two. But if I said I ate a pear and I used this one, that's more correct because that's the fruit. All right, we're going to talk more about those homophones as we go through the week, but let's take a look at our reading chart and do some practice with that. Let me get my reading finger. All right, here we go. Let's start with the second row this time. Where, share, chair, bear, pair. Let's try this one. Stare, bear, rare, pair, dare. Good job. Did you notice? Let's look at all the ones that have the E-A-R. Tear, wear, and pair, and bear. There are not a lot of words that use this spelling pattern, but we still need to know what to do when we see it. That's important. So make sure that you're practicing those. You might even make a list. Put it A-I-R and write down some words that have that spelling pattern. And do the same thing for the other spelling patterns. So then you start to recognize words that use those spelling patterns. That will help you when you're looking at books. All right, let's take a look at our high frequency words. We have two that we're going to focus on today. Let me get my chart turned around here. We're going to look at the word wonder, W-O-N-D-E-R, and we're going to look at the word young, Y-O-U-N-G, young. Now I have two sentences. Help me figure out where to put the words so that it makes sense. Here we go. Spot is a very puppy. Okay, so let's think. Wonder puppy? That would be fun. Or young puppy. All right, keep thinking. What time the plane will land? I young what time the plane will land? Or I wonder? Right. It's a wondering, isn't it? I wonder what time. And Spot is a very young puppy. Great job. All right, we have one more thing to learn today, and that is our structural analysis. We've been learning, I'm just going to hold it up because I want you to see it. Look at all of the different syllable types that we have learned this year. Can you believe it? There are 6 different types of syllables. Remember, a syllable is a part of a word. Some words have more than one syllable. And so we've learned about closed syllables and open. We've learned silent E and vowel teams and the stable syllable or the consonant LE. Today we're going to learn the last one, the R-controlled syllable. So when we have a word that has more than one syllable, if the vowel is followed by an R, we're going to keep those two together. The vowel and the R are going to stay in the same syllable. Let me show you what I mean. Here we have popcorn. Now, I might not know what that word is, so that's one of the reasons we practice breaking words into syllables. So if I don't know what that word is, the first thing I'm going to do is find my vowels, right? Here's my O and an O. And then I can see that I have 2 consonants together that are not a blend. That means I can split them right there. So when I split it, I want you to notice, do you see the R is following the O? So we have to keep that syllable together. And now I can try it. Let's break it up. We broke it apart. Let's read it. We're going to read it syllable by syllable. Pop. There's a closed syllable. That makes the O-ah. Pop. And then we have the R-controlled or popcorn. And when I put it together, it's popcorn. How'd you do? Great job. Let's try another one. So let's take a look at this word here. Let's say we're not sure how to read that word. So we're going to take a look at it. And I'm going to think about my vowel followed by an R. They stay together. All right, so I have a vowel here. And, oh, look, and it's followed by an R. Then I have a vowel here, and it's also followed by an R. So that means I'm going to split right here between these 2 consonants because R and N, they're not a blend, so they don't have to stay together. So we're going to split that apart, and now we can decode or sound out the syllables. K, or, cor, n, ner, corner. And when I put it together, I have corner. Great job. Wow, look how tricky you are. I'm so proud of you. We'll practice some more of that tomorrow. Come back and see me so we can learn and practice more skills. Will you sing with me? Fantastic. Goodbye now, the clock says we're done. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone. Come back and see me tomorrow so we can learn some more. Bye-bye.
Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good.